You ready?
I am.
Okay. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Kerrville. We'd like to remind you to check in on Facebook, let people know that you're participating in our club meeting today. And surely y'all know how to do that, but if you could do that, that would be great. We have Ashley Perry will do our invocation for us today. Ashley. Go.
You have to unmute yourself.
All right. Let us pray. Father above, I pray that you influence all decisions that we, our families, friends, political and spiritual leaders, and service members on the front lines of this pandemic make today and forward. You are our pillar of support, and we want you to support us throughout the day by giving us the capacity. God, we need you to back all actions and decisions that surround us today and on. Let positivity follow us, O Lord, and allow us the wisdom to avoid any negative occurrence in this, our time of need. Father, you said in Psalm 147:11, the Lord delights in those who fear him, who put their hope in his unfailing love. Father, you have our fear, hope, and we thank you, Lord, for gracing us with your support and unfailing love. Amen.
Amen. Okay, if you will join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
flag
of the
United States of America
and to the republic
which
which
stands one nation
under God,
visible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Thank you. Okay, it seems like we have a song, George.
You bet. Uncle Dave, you ready to put it up there? Or Christy?
I'm going. Hold on. Where did I go? Hold on. I don't know where I went.
I hope you have it, Christy.
I do have it. I do. I just have to find the doggone thing. Come on now. Are you getting it?
Not
Y'all
yet.
have it? Okay.
There it is. There it is.
Okay. Remember, hum silently. Okay, here. I will try and do the honors here. But it's to the Turn of the Army song. Over hill, over dale, we are on
the Rotary Trail with a new bunch of roadside stops.
in and out.
Give a shout for our new Press Tammy Prout. The best for the year.
Cause it's high,
high in our Kerrville Rotary.
Sound off
And
our
off our numbers loud and strong.
and wherever
There
you go,
you go.
tell everyone you know that our club is all 60
for the year.
Hey, Tammy!
Well, that was really awesome. I really appreciate that. That was sweet, George, and all of you guys. Thank you. I told Clint that since the speech today is me and I'm going to be talking about me, that I would just skip the introduction and go right into the program, if that's okay with each of you. So it is truly an honor for me to have been selected to serve as your president. I have watched the presidents who have served before me, and I believe I have some really big shoes to fill. First, I must say 45 minutes is a really long time to speak. So if I can get through this, I believe we can get through this year just fine. As I thought about what message I needed to share today, I decided it might be good to let you know a little bit more about me. We attend meetings weekly and enjoy each other's company, but we very rarely get to know each other on a more personal level, and our histories define who we are. And if I want to try to lead this club, I wanted to tell you a little bit about who I am. So if you'll bear with me a second, we will talk about me. As for my history, I was born in Germany. My mother married a United States Air Force intelligence officer, and he was stationed in Bremerhaven. That marriage didn't work out, and she and I returned to San Antonio when I was 2 years old. My mom met and married the man I know as my dad when I was 8 years old. He had recently returned from Vietnam, where he served as a crew chief in the United States Marine Corps. It is these two individuals that I credit for good and bad for who I am today. My mom had only an 8th grade education, since it was necessary for her to work and earn a living to help support their family of 5 back in a really trying time. However, she went on to become one of the highest performing sales representatives for Cisco Foods. Maybe she wasn't highly educated, but she had a ton of common sense. She said she had picked the food industry because people would always need to eat and she would always have something to sell. My dad was one of 6 children that lived with a single mom. He was a football star and offered a scholarship in high school, but he chose to enlist in the Marines instead during Vietnam. He and his older brother both sent their military checks to their mother each month to support their younger siblings. My parents believed in hard work. We didn't get anything for free, even if it was easy to do so. My dad was the Marine father, and my mother was the good cop, so to speak. I have 2 sisters that are 11 and 14 years younger than me. I skipped a year in high school. I graduated from McCollum High School at the age of 16, attended St. Mary's University, majored in political science. I moved to Kerrville at the age of 21 and met my husband shortly after arriving. We have been together for 34 years, married for 32 years. My husband is nearing his 30 years of service as a police officer employed at the Kerr County Sheriff's Department. And this is just my favorite picture. Our youngest son is a firefighter, and that's my favorite picture when he was pinning our son. My mom was the kindest soul. My mom was the kindest, most caring soul. She touched many lives and impacted many people. At the age of 47, she died of cancer. My sisters were 14 and 18 when my mom passed away. My dad was invincible in everything, but not when it came to us and mom. So after mom passed, he was a little lost. So at the age of 28, I had a 3-year-old son, a 3-month-old son, and moved my 2 little sisters in with my husband and I. Trying to take care of a toddler, an infant, and 2 teenage girls, all while working full-time, was probably the most difficult time in my life. But we all got through it, and I think I learned a lot from that. Both my sisters went on to get degrees, and both are successful professionals. But you should know that my husband was a trooper, and through it all, I believe he earned a special place in heaven. But of all the things that I've done, whether it's starting the newspaper or graduating early or being an athlete in my younger days, my thing I'm most proud of are my 2 sons. This is Patrick on the left and Tim on the right. They are good people with great hearts, and they have a profound sense of family. They're great fathers to my 3 beautiful granddaughters, and I just couldn't be prouder. And we couldn't mention granddaughters without showing you a picture of each of them. So on the left is Addison, in the middle is Audrey, and on the right is Claire. If you'll give me just a second. Okay, so it's back on me. So I've told you all of this to share my core values with you. I believe in family. I believe all children should be encouraged to seek higher education or a trade. I believe in teamwork. I do not believe that any one person is greater than another. I will forever support first responders, veterans, and teachers. And the greatest gift, I believe, is one that one can receive is the satisfaction of serving someone in need. So how does all of this fit into the path of the Rotary Club of Kerrville? Very nicely, I think. With the help of my very dear friend, Tim Cromwelge, who sponsored me, I joined Rotary 10 years or so ago. I wanted to promote the newspaper, and I thought Rotary was a way to do that. But after going to the orientation process, I realized Rotary wasn't meant to be a networking tool. The program for my very first meeting as a member was a presentation on how Rotarians around the world have almost eradicated polio together. It was then I truly understood the call, the meaning of being a Rotarian. Service above self all of a sudden stopped being just a slogan to me. So annually, and this has been over the years and with past presidents' input, our club provides $25,000 in scholarships, college and vocational scholarships. We are one of the first clubs, I think, to add the vocational part into our scholarship program, which I'm really proud of. We honor veterans through breakfast and food bank support. We honor law enforcement and firefighters. We carry on the fight against polio through Pints for Polio. We bring the community together for Labor Day through health and safety trainings and exercise. We provide food and presents for children at Christmas, and we teach the important lesson of water safety to elementary students. These are just a few things that we do. These projects are meaningful and truly affect the lives of others in a positive way. It's hard to think that there are other things that we can do, but there really always is. Each president before me has left their fingerprint on the club in a personal way. These projects are the result of caring hearts of those who came before me, and as I try to determine what mark I might leave on the club, I want to share some ideas with you. These are just a few of the projects that I would like to add. My mom, when she was sick, needed blood, platelets, and transfusions weekly. I plan to host a quarterly blood drive through the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. They literally save lives. I hope we can do our part to help keep their blood supply up, and I will report on this idea a little later and throughout the year. 2 years ago, this is the second one, 2 years ago when I was at Rotary President-elect training, I met a man who was a vendor at the program or at the seminar, and he was hosting an adoption picnic. He did this in partnership with Child Protective Services. That's very detailed, and I'm not going to go into all the details yet because we'll have a program on it. But this is a Rotary sanctioned activity now. The concept is that foster children attend a picnic and interact with CPS approved potential adoptive parents. They get to interact in a no pressure situation. The hope and goal is to match foster children with parents. The only job of the Rotary Club is to provide a venue, food, and entertainment. I hope this is something that we can do in the spring, and I will also report on that a little bit more. Through the many years that I've been in Rotary, we've talked about one global project that I recall, but each president has always wanted to come up with a meaningful global project. I was recently contacted by a Dr. Mark Robertson, who's with an organization called Let Hope Begin Here, Guatemala. The organization itself teaches vocational training to the individuals or the young people, young adults in Guatemala in the area in which they work. And they need support for that project. In addition, a hurricane wiped out the main bridge that got them to the bigger part of civilization in Guatemala, and they're trying to replace this bridge. This is a big undertaking, not something our club can do by ourselves. And with the help of Christy Vandenberg, we're reaching out to other clubs and our district to talk about how we can maybe help do the things that this organization needs through a global grant, which would mean that we raise money, other clubs raise money, we go to our districts, the districts match that, and then we apply for a global grant in which Rotary International would match that. So it's very possible we could do this. Just so you know, I told you I was married to a cop, so I'm a little leery of some things. Well, this particular organization is supported by two members of our community who both volunteer for the organization as well. One is Jane Ragsdale and one is Mary Ellen Summerlin. So after learning that, I really appreciated the cause, but I really had a lot of faith in that organization, just given the fact that these two women that I respect are already helping. We'll also learn more about that throughout the year. I've learned so much from serving on the board of directors and being a member of the club. And I've learned so much serving on the board of directors, and being a member takes on a different meaning when you see it from the inside out. In other words, going to meetings is great, and we all are a club, and we're a great club. But I learned a lot more about Rotary and being a Rotarian by serving on the board of directors. And I wanted other people to have that experience, I think, in my opinion. So when it was time to nominate new board members, that was one of the things I asked, was that we asked someone who hadn't already served on the board so that we could give that opportunity that I feel like I've gotten to someone else that hasn't done it. The other thing I talked about was in my core values is family and teamwork. So in my year, one thing I would like to see is to have each of us participate. It's going to be hard because right now we're virtual and we don't know what our future is going to be. But today I'm asking that you try to participate in at least one of our service projects, whether it's attending a Pints for Polio event, serving hot dogs at Labor Day, walk-a-thon, or visiting with a veteran at our Veterans Breakfast, or selling, really importantly, selling our raffle tickets for Super Bowl. I ask you to participate, be present with our club, and always continue to participate in our Zoom meetings when you can. At this time next year, when we're together for my year-end speech, I hope that you can tell me that you got something new and exciting from your membership to the Rotary Club of Kerrville, and that collectively that we can say the year was a success and we all did it together. I really thank you for the opportunity to serve you in this community, and I pray that I will do the job justice. And that's all I have.
Wonderful. Yay. You know, you can all applaud. Use your little reaction button. You can applaud. That'll look pretty. There you go. Look at all those hands up. What? Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Tammy? You can unmute yourself and, ask your question. No one has any questions?
Yes.
Christy, it's Dennis. I would just, for Tammy, suggest that you hang on to Clint Morse as our program chairman, because we've had such great programs over these past 2 years.
Yes, I actually accosted him at Christmas and asked him if he would stay on, and he said yes.
Great.
All right. Anyone else? Well, the 3 new board members, do y'all have anything to say? Mr. Huff, Mr. Boudreau, and who am I missing?
Marta.
Marta. Yeah, Marta. Why don't I remember that? Y'all don't have
I'm just
anything
happy to
say?
be part of the Tammy's team, and looking forward to the new year, and I'm going to help as much as I possibly can.
I'd like to echo that also, Tammy, and appreciate you extending the invitation to serve on the board. As a relative newbie to this organization, although having had some experience before becoming a member, and I'll explain that more in detail later, I feel gratified and privileged to be able to serve this community through our board, and I appreciate the invitation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just real quickly, I had to go to the Sunrise Rotary Club meetings in Detroit, Michigan, way back when. And if I was there, there were 3 of us in the room. So it was really disenchanting. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am at the level of participation that I see in the Rotary Club of Kerrville, and the level of projects that we take on and the success that we all have. And it really is a privilege to be part of this, and I'm delighted to be on the board, and certainly hope I exceed all of your expectations. And Tammy, I really look forward to serving with you, and I think we've got a great year ahead of us.
Me too. I enjoy everyone that's been on the board, and I think that these 3 new additions are going to be fun. So I hope you get the experience that I got. Anything else, Christy? Do you want me to go to Families and Rotary?
Yeah, that would be good.
Is Stephanie here? Yes, Stephanie, do you have Families and Rotary?
I do. Rosalie Reese had shoulder surgery this morning. So just prayers go out for her. I think that's all I have.
Okay, great. I'm looking at Rotary announcements, and it looks like the only Rotary announcement that we have right now is to remind everyone to get your dues paid. It's a little offsetting when we're doing things so differently, but if you could just check your emails, make sure you got your invoice and get those paid to us, that would be great. Also, I'd like to say that I wanted to find out what the club wanted to do with regard to in-person meetings, and I think if we make any decisions like that, it should be as a club. So that's why I sent out that email. And right now, I don't think we'll be meeting at all, and we won't be meeting at all in July. It's pretty iffy in August, but I did promise John at the Croc that we would get together next week and kind of see how the numbers are going. But we have a contingency plan in place for our August 5th meeting, which will be our citizenship awards for the elementary school kids. So we're either going to do it in person or Zoom. And Jeff Anderson has agreed to kind of make sure that we have either option based on where we're looking at that time. But at this time, it's looking more and more like it will be a Zoom meeting also. I just didn't want those children to get overlooked by getting added into next year's group. So I think we'll do it that way. I don't know if I'm supposed to be 20 minutes early, but that's all I really have. So we will keep you, at the newspaper, we keep up to date on the numbers. They are continually growing. Everyone's urging us to not get into big groups. So there were more people than you would think that were encouraging us to meet in person. But each one of them also said that they would agree with whatever the club decided. So we'll stay in touch on that, and the Labor Day, the Citizenship Awards luncheon is next that I think we'll do via Zoom, and Christy we'll have to determine what to do about Labor Day too. But we may soon be talking about needing volunteers, so have your hand ready to go up when we do.
Thanks for bringing up Labor Day. If there's anyone who hasn't worked on that event and wants to be on the committee, we're going to have a Zoom meeting to talk about it. The good news about that event is it is an outdoor event, as you know. So I think we can pull it off, and that might be our next big community event would be that. So if you're interested in working on it, I want to shout out to Marta Diffin, because she has agreed to help co-chair that for this year.
There you go, Marta.
Yay.
Marta.
But we do need help. We need help coordinating all the stuff, and all the people who did so great last year, please, when I email something out, email me back. And anyone who wants to, who's new, just shoot me a quick email and let me know. One of the things I think, Tammy, we got to make a decision about is attendance, because what we've been doing up until this point is everybody's gotten, quote unquote, a makeup, but they weren't dinged for any of these meetings because all the meetings were on Zoom. So attendance is a big deal to some people. It's not a big deal to other people. So I guess we're going to, as a board, I know we're meeting next week, so we'll get something out to you about attendance. But I'm worried that we're seeing, today we have 58 to 60 Rotarians on, which is awesome. Thank you. But I'm worried about the other 140 people who were not 140. Now my math is bad. 100 people, let's put it that way, that aren't online. And I miss them. I do. I miss them, and I worry that they're not staying engaged and that we could lose them. We do have some visitors, though. Bill Richter is on the line, and Mr. Richard Bolin was on the line earlier. So I'm hoping that y'all will think about joining us and making this your regular Wednesday fix or something. Call it something else. I don't know. What Wednesday deal?
Christy, can you also, you were telling me that you now are able to get our meetings on YouTube, so those people that miss the meetings can go to, can you explain how that works, where they can go and see a meeting?
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to go to, and Phyllis, thank you so much for clearing up what site I wanted them to go to. I want them to go to kerrville.rotary.org, and that's our website. And right in the middle of it, let me see, maybe, you know what I could do? I could bring that up. I'll show it to y'all because we got time. That's really good. All right, let me share that. First of all, if you've never seen this homepage, shame on you. This is our homepage. This is what it looks like. One of my goals this year is to change that picture to people we all know, because they're all good-looking folks, but they're not us. Okay, so if you go into the member area, that's where you can find all things Rotary, and you just use that. Now, if you scroll down here, you'll be able to find, oh, someone put all that up, but they didn't, they put it up in, I'm sorry, here we go. There is Charlie McIlvain's end review, and it's on, you can just click through it right there. And there is Dub Thomas's speech. So at least the last meeting will be on here, and everybody can log in if they want. Okay.
That's awesome. Okay, well, does anyone have anything else for the good of the club?
Tammy, I don't know if you saw the little young man that was killed by a tractor accident in Center Point. In reading his GoFundMe page that they've set up for the family, his desire was to bring water to a a village somewhere. And so I just thought I would put that out there, that if anybody has any connections, that we might be able to make that a reality for that family. Because I know there are water projects out there, and that family desires to make that little boy's dream come true. So,
well, we can certainly get on that. And thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Sure.
Okay.
Tammy,
well, yes.
Tammy, it's Bill Tucker.
Yes.
Do we have any update on Bill Crumrine? Maybe Stephanie knows something about that.
I don't have any.
I got this one. We've been talking, we made Bill an honorary member about a week ago, the board did, because he was looking at getting out of Rotary, and he had in so many years we didn't do that. He is on hospice care. He and Pam, I talked to them both, and they're doing okay. It's just, I hate to say this, but I don't think there's a lot of hope, but how long he will be with us, I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Tammy?
Yeah.
The thing about the water, Doug, my husband does a lot of business, or does a lot of work with Texas Water Mission in Honduras. And this might be something we'd like to continue on. He's been going down there helping the Honduras for about 10 years now. And he's still on the board, and that may be something that we could plan to, because he goes down there like once or twice a year to help them. And the Hondurans are now doing the drilling. And so that would be, they put in, so many wells here. And they're a nonprofit connected with the Episcopal Church. So I'd like to present that idea to you as a possibility for helping this little boy.
Yes, thank you so much. That would be a really good thing, and we'll talk more about that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, if you would join me in the four-way test. Oh,
Unmute
wait.
yourself.
Also, before we go to there, I wanted to also announce next week we will be hearing from Mike Whitler, who will give us overview of the K-Pub response to the storm, the major storms that we had. There was a lot of internal workings going on there, and I think it would be really interesting to hear from what he has to say about that. Okay, sorry now, if you'll join me in the four-way test. Of the things that we think
Say or do.
Is it the
Is it
truth?
the truth? Is it fair to all
concerned?
Will it build
Will build goodwill and mend friendships.
Will it be
beneficial
all concerned?
Okay, ding.
Good job, Tammy.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Good job.
Good
Outstanding.
job. Good speech. Way to go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ciao.